Greetings, all you movie junkies and entertainment lovers. I'm your host King Brandis, and joining me once again is my co-host Javier. How's it going today, huh?
Hello, it's going fine, thank you very much. I'm very excited to talk about all the stuff that happened in DC Fandome. Like I'm so excited because that event was so great. In like 3 weeks time, uh we're getting like the other half of the event. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. Anyways, back to you.
All right, sorry about that, guys. It was just a minor technical issue there. But so you enjoyed DC Fandom,
Oh, lots. I loved it.
and so welcome. So anyway, I sorry about that, guys. I got completely sidetracked there. But anyway, welcome to Movie Junkies Media Talking. This is a very special edition of the show, and we've been off for a while because obviously the news has been a little bit slow and everything. But we're back on this wonderful Monday talking about DC, everything that came out, pretty much. Well, not everything, but most of the big news that came out at DC Fandom. So we got a lot to cover today. So there's some stuff that we're really not going to have that much to say about, but there's some stuff that we'll probably have quite a lot to say about. So let us not waste any time and get right into it. And the first thing that they started with was, of course, the new Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. And we have, of course, been waiting a very long time for the second trailer for Wonder Woman 1984. The movie has been pushed back twice. Well, technically, it was pushed back 3 times because a lot of people forget the movie was actually originally supposed to come out in November 2019, but Patty Jenkins decided that they needed more time to work on the film, so that ended up getting pushed back all the way to June 5th of 2020. And then, of course, I'm sure you guys kind of know the rest. Things happened in the world, and it got pushed to August. Clearly, it wasn't going to be able to meet that date, and now finally, it's been pushed to October 2nd. And now we are finally getting to that point now where it looks like, hopefully, by that point at least, the theaters will be open again. And we're seeing lots and lots of places around the world, theaters and stuff opening. And it looks like, hopefully, the film will be able to meet that release date. And so, of course, the great way to just kick off the show was to just drop the Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. So, Hav, tell me, what did you think of this new trailer for Wonder Woman 1984?
I actually enjoyed it. It definitely really gets me excited um for the movie. And I think it was actually a really great thing to start on because we've been waiting for this film for a long time now. And probably the first thing I have to say is Cheetah.
Mm,
That like when we first saw her in fully as Cheetah,
mm-hmm.
that it looked great. I will admit, it looked so good. Like I got worried that it was going to be like Cats, but I think
Yeah.
they pulled it off really damn well, and that is something that I'm really super happy on. What about you? What did you think of Cheetah?
Well, I just want to say so it's funny that you mentioned cats because a lot of people actually are making the connection and saying that, oh, it's cats all over again. It looks horrible, blah blah blah. So it is funny that you're saying, oh God, it's so much better than cats, and yet there is still a lot of people that saying, oh God, it's cats
Yeah,
again.
oh, it's my
Um,
opinion.
but well, yeah, but I mean, I would agree with you, but it is interesting that there are a lot of people that saying that it does kind of look like cats. I thought it looked fine. I thought it looked fine. It wasn't like, whoa, those are some great effects, man. But it was kind of like, okay, it was passable. I wasn't quite because we kind of it's kind of been kind of unknown for a while whether or not we were really gonna get Cheetah or if it
Mhm.
was just gonna be sort of Cheetah-ish, if you will, like she was gonna kind of half be there, but it looks like no, they're going full blown Cheetah, and just that looks like that fight is gonna be pretty epic. So, and yet this trailer really gave a little also it gave a little bit of a sense of what could possibly be, not necessarily confirmed, but what could possibly be. And they definitely seem to kind of hint towards this in the trailer, but what could possibly be the reason for Steve Trevor coming back, which is that
Mm.
Pedro Pascal's character, Maxwell Lord, um, has this sort of this magical stone. I don't know too much. Obviously, that's stuff that we still don't really know too much about, but that can grant people wishes, and it looks like perhaps, or whatever
Mm.
they want or most desire, or whatever. And it looks like perhaps that is how Steve Trevor comes back because Diana probably still uh, longs for him to come back. So it looks like perhaps maybe that very well looks like it's going to be the way that they bring back Steve Trevor.
Mhm.
Again, I still think it's Martian Manhunter. I know a lot of people. That's not a popular theory. A lot of people are like, no way, that isn't. It's not going to be Martian Manhunter. I think it's possible. I think it would be a great twist, a great way to bring Martian Manhunter in,
Yeah.
but who knows? But I'm sure that there's clearly something more going on there, and whether or not it really is Steve Trevor or just like I don't know, just like I don't know the essence of him or whatever. There's this. It's going to be interesting to see. But Harv, what are your thoughts on kind of us getting just a little bit more of a sense of kind of what the plot will be
Yeah.
and how? Because it seemed that seems to be kind of how Cheetah really or well, what's oh god, what's her name? Well, the character she starts off as just Barbara Minerva. I believe that's the version because there's been a couple
Mhm.
of versions of Cheetah in like the comic books, and I believe this one is in fact going to be Barbara Minerva. I believe that's her name. So it looks like perhaps that is how they're going to go for her becoming Cheetah. I guess probably in like the third act or whatever. So what are your thoughts on that?
Um, and it is kind of interesting. Like the the Manhunter um theory is like I'm still 50-50 on that. Like like
There is nothing to support that, by the way. I
it
just
is
think,
there's
like,
nothing.
I just think it would be cool if it turned out to be Martian Manhunter, because I just really would love to see Martian Manhunter. Like, there's no theory, there's been nothing that's come out, nothing that Patty Jenkins has said, nothing that Warner's have said to even suggest that it could be Martian Manhunter. I just think it would be cool if it turned out to be Martian Manhunter, because I think Steve Trevor is still, I don't know, but that's
Mm.
just me.
Um, but I guess it is interesting to see the, the kind of uh like the grant your whatever you wish thing, like whatever you really want.
Mhm.
Like that is an interesting way to go about this film because
I mean,
I
they're
didn't
still not
think.
revealing too much, really. We don't know kind of how she'll get like the golden
Hmm.
eagle armor or stuff like that. They're still kind of
Yeah.
keeping things kind of vague, and which is good. But overall, I really like. I mean, would you say this trailer was better than the first one?
Yeah. I liked him more.
Yeah. I will say there was one part of the trailer that I did kind of scratch my head at, but where she and some people have pointed this out before,
Hmm.
where there's um they're like they swing she's been like swinging her lasso into like the air, and then there's like nothing there, and then in this there was a moment in this film where there was a um oh uh where there was a part where she was in like the clouds, and she was like swinging around and stuff. And I almost, for a split second, I thought we were getting the invisible jet.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
And they're in, and then after that part, that was when they actually get into a jet and everything. And so,
Yeah.
but whether or not it's the invisible jet or not, because who knows? Who knows? I mean, if they are in fact doing the invisible jet, is that something that you would like them to
Oh, I
do,
would
Hop,
love.
or is it like, oh no, that's dumb. They should not do the invisible jet. That should be left
I want them
alone.
to do it because like I've always joked about that. Like it always just looks so funny.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, obviously in the original show, or at least just the first season of the original show, obviously they had the invisible jet and stuff, but it obviously it looked kind of, it was very cheesy and the effects were quite poor and stuff at that time. So to be fair, maybe they could do it now, but I mean, I think the problem with the invisible jet was, and in like Super Friends and stuff, was that even though it was invisible, it would not cloak Wonder Woman herself, so you just see her like
Yeah,
flying through
that's
the clouds.
that's
So I think they should do the invisible jet, but don't do like that. Just have it be like,
don't have like any shots of her just
if
in
you know
it.
what they could do, which could be funny, is that a part where like something happens where like the visible jet actually gets hit or something and it glitches out, and for a split second we do get that as like kind of a nod. That would be kind
Mhm.
of cool. But yeah, anyway, so if you guys have any other thoughts on the new Wonder Woman 1984 trailer, be sure to jump in the comments down below and let us know. And oh, there is one thing I want to mention at the very end with Chris Pine, and he's like trying on like different clothes and stuff, like, and he's
Oh yeah.
put on like parachute pants. Does everyone parachute now? And I have to say, watching that, I as time has gone on, I'm realizing more and more now how perfect Chris Pine's casting was as Captain Kirk, because he definitely has a twinge of William Shatner in him, and I could definitely see him being like William Shatner is now in like the future years from now. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that is that. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, sure jump in the comments down below and let us know. Let us move on to the next thing, which is this. For a while
Yeah.
now, we have been hearing rumblings of more video games and stuff coming from Rocksteady, of course, the company that gave us the Batman Arkham games, which I'm a huge fan of. I love the Batman Arkham games and stuff. I love the style
Mm.
and everything. And ever since Arkham Knight, it's kind of been like, like we've been hearing rumblings of stuff, but we kind of been like, well, we don't really know what's going on. There's been rumors about Court of Owls and the Bat family and stuff. And well, they dropped the official trailer for Gotham Knights, which is interesting. Which
Mhm.
is a proper continuation after the events of Arkham Knight, Batman Arkham Knight. And spoilers, if perhaps you've been able to avoid the ending of that game for this long, Batman does appear to die. Appear, let's say appear, because he may very well not be, but appear to die at the end of that game. And when we are basically like the rest of the Bat family, Batgirl and Nightwing and even Red Hood and everybody are basically having to take up the mantle of Batman to protect Gotham City from whatever the threat is. Well, I suppose it's going to be Court of Owls, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
going to have the Talon and stuff like that. And looks like
Mhm.
Mister Freeze is coming back, which is very exciting.
Oh
And
yeah. They showed some gameplay of it, and they got up to like the uh to the boss fight on him actually, and it looked really good.
yeah, and the reactions to this seem to be very mixed. A lot of people are very upset. They don't like, and this part I get. A lot of people like, how can you do Court of Owls without Batman? I mean, what the hell? But you have to remember, folks, this isn't necessarily supposed to be a direct adaptation of the
Mm.
Court of Owls. This is not one of like the DC animated original movies like Batman Year One or Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. This is an original story. This is an original just like the previous games, and they are going to be at least taking influence from the Court of Owls. And we have, been wanting to see more of the Court of Owls and more of the movies and stuff for a while now. And we did, in the course, in the Gotham show, we got Court of Owls. A lot of people really want a Court of Owls like live action movie and stuff, and there's been some rumors, but nothing really tangible that maybe that's where Matt Reeves' Batman is going in. That the next one will be Court of Owls, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, so I don't mind that they're doing Core Vowels. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I just am a big fan of the Arkham universe in general. I just really
Mhm.
like the aesthetic of Gotham and everything. And I even enjoyed Arkham Origins, which I know a lot of people don't like. That was the first one I actually played, so I actually have a soft spot for that one, and I really loved like the Christmas setting and everything. And so I'm just excited that we get to see this universe continue. So, but Harv, before we jump into like the second part of this, what were your thoughts on the Gotham Knights trailer and gameplay footage that we got?
Um, I thought it looked good. I thought it looked uh really good. It's definitely going to be different from the other games. There's going to be a co-op with all with the new characters, well, with the Bat family.
Hmm.
Um, it's definitely going to play a lot differently, and I'm interested to see how it goes.
And they definitely updated a lot of the graphics and
Oh
everything,
yeah.
and it definitely has a bit of a new style to it. But I'm excited to see it, and yeah, and of course, in addition to that, we also got the of course this they had already announced, so we already kind of knew this is coming. But of course, we got the official trailer for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, which is apparently is also from Rocksteady, and apparently is also going to be also set in the Arkham universe, which is interesting because in Batman
Mm.
Arkham Knight, there actually was several, well, actually probably more than several references to other characters and stuff in the world of the DC comics, and there were numerous references to the existence of like Superman and Metropolis and Green Arrow and stuff like that. So a lot of people are like, maybe there'll be a Justice League game or something, and well, uh, kind of. We have gotten a Suicide Squad game, which I actually I have to say I'm ludicrously excited for this because I'm a big Suicide Squad fan in general. And in terms of the team, we've got Captain Boomerang, we've got Deadshot, we've got King Shark, Harley Quinn, of course, and I think that's it. So it's actually quite a small team, especially compared to the other Suicide Squad related thing that was announced. But yeah, and basically the concept and the villain apparently is going to be Brainiac, surprisingly. And I
Yeah.
guess the concept is that Brainiac has somehow taken over the Justice League, and so now it's up to the Suicide Squad to save the day. And I actually think that's kind of a fun concept, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this and play this and everything. And they said it's not coming until 2022, so it's going to be PlayStation 5 and everything. So Bahab,
Hmm.
what did you think of this Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League trailer?
Um, I'm excited. Like the trailer was really funny, and
It was. It definitely had a sense of humor to
yeah,
it.
which I'm kind of happy on because if it didn't have a good sense of humor or it didn't make me laugh, I would be kind of scared because it would just get annoying after a while. But
Yeah.
I think the concept is very interesting and fun with the Suicide Squad having to being against the Justice League that is being controlled by Brainiac.
Yes.
That
Somehow we don't really. That's kind of what we know.
yeah,
Um,
I think that's a really good concept and something I'm really looking forward to.
and of the two games, which one do you think you're more looking forward to?
Um, well, they both look good. I used to think Gotham Knights, but I'm ki kind of this. I kind of like the Suicide
You're
Squad
leaning
game,
towards Suicide Squad
just
now?
by a little bit, just
Yeah.
by a little bit.
I think it looks a lot of fun. And Yeah, it is just it definitely gave off that the kind of vibe that you want from a Suicide Squad, you
Hmm.
know, and that it is supposed to be kind of tongue in cheek and have a sense of humor to it, and it ended kind of funny with you had like Captain Boomerang's boomerang and hitting Superman and the music stopping suddenly, and that was, very
Oh, that
funny
was the
stuff like that.
funniest joke.
Yeah, and weirdly enough, I don't know if you saw the panel for that, but they had Will Arnett interviewing like one of the developers. Weirdly enough,
Oh, really?
so we had Lego Batman interviewing the one of the. It was kind
Oh,
of interesting
okay.
take. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so be sure share with us your thoughts on the those two games in the comments down below, and let us move on to the next topic, which is this. James Gunn's Suicide Squad, which I keep forgetting
Ooh.
if it has wrapped production. I think it actually has wrapped production and is in post
Hmm.
production. And this one I don't think has actually moved off of its release date. It's still slated to come out August 6th, 2021, which is good.
Hmm.
And well, this is gonna be a movie, guys. This is gonna be a movie. I think a lot of people were surprised to see the scale and size of this
I know,
film.
right?
I mean, James Gunn was basically saying that, look, this is like the biggest movie I've ever made. It's one of the
Mm.
biggest superhero movies ever made. This is gonna be unlike anything anybody's ever seen before. And I do want to mention real quickly before I get into like your thoughts. I do want to mention that apparently, because we don't know who the villain for this is. We don't know. We
Oh
have
yeah,
no
we don't
clue
know.
who the villain of the film will be.
Hmm.
But it is rumored, and there are a lot of reports saying, and this would make a lot of sense, and would also this would also make me very happy as well. But it looks like the villain for the film
Hmm.
will be Starro.
Starro.
And Starro, for those of you who don't know who Starro is a basically a giant starfish from outer space who controls people by having little starfishes wrap around their faces. And what a brilliant villain for a Suicide Squad movie. That
I,
would be fantastic. And
oh
yeah,
yeah.
and so but first of all, what is your thoughts on that? On the
Oh, that's
possibility of it
Starro.
being Starro?
That I think it fits. It really fits for the Suicide Squad. Like kind of like
Hmm.
a goofy villain, but yet
Yeah, you
like
could tell that it is something that James Gunn would be into. Like
yeah.
I mean, it sounds like something out of Guardians of the Galaxy almost. So
Oh
you could
yeah.
definitely tell it's it's very likely that this is a possibility because you just know that he would be into it. But um, yeah, I for one hope it is Starro. But what do you think of? Do you hope it's Starro, or are you hoping that actually it's going to be a different villain?
I like Starro. I like Starro to be at least a villain in this because I think it would really fit the
Mhm.
film.
And I mean, I don't know if Starro in the comics ever crossed over with the
The Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. I mean, obviously, there's the infamous Justice League of America cover with all of the Justice League fighting Starro and everything, and they did a big story with Starro and Batman: The Brave and the Bold, which actually was actually one of the more serious stories they did, and they did a big 2-part thing with that. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think Starro would be perfect. But the first thing that James Gunn showed us was this roll call of all of the
Oh yeah.
characters, and this is a there's a whole boatload of them. There's a lot of characters. We've got Michael Rooker in here. We've got,
Hmm.
I mean, I won't name off all the characters, but there's a lot. And I mean, how many of them did you recognize, Hob?
I know we've got one of the doctors from Doctor Who. I
Yeah, but
forgot
did you
his name, but
recognize? Yes, Peter Capaldi, and he's playing a character called the Thinker, who I believe was actually in some of the Green Lantern comics that Jeff Johns run, if I'm remembering correctly. But um, so that was one.
We had one of the side characters from uh Ant-Man. I forgot what his name was, but he was from
One
the
of the side characters from Ant-Man. Oh, you mean like the actor?
playing
Yeah,
Polka
and he's
Dot
playing.
Man.
I forgot his name as well, but he's playing the Polka Dot Man.
Hmm.
Uh, which is an actual DC Comics character, by the way. That's not made up.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
heard of him as well. It's
and
honestly funny.
and I mean, if the polka dot man's in the movie, who's to say Starro's not in the movie? So
Yeah.
yeah. So what else?
We got John Cena. What was his character's?
John Cena. I think John Cena's character is called the Peacemaker,
Yes, he
and his
described it
costume
as
is ridiculously uh is ridiculous, but in a good way. Um,
yeah.
he just looks ridiculous, but it's kind of perfect in a way. But we got Michael Rooker in here, and he's playing I think it's called Shiva. I believe I'm not too.
Shiva.
I don't really know if I'm not particularly aware of the character that he's playing. Any other characters that you remember?
Well, of
Oh
course,
yeah, they no. Go
there's
ahead.
there's Harley Quinn, of course.
Yes, and finally they gave her like an actual like proper Harley Quinn suit. Unlike
Yes.
I don't know what the hell that was in Birds of Prey, but anyway.
Oh God, it looked
So
awful.
yeah, leave it to James Gunn to fix everything. So and then of course you got Idris Elba in there playing Bloodsport. Of
Mhm.
course, a lot of people thought that he was playing Deadshot. A lot of people thought that he was, they were recasting Will Smith, but no, Deadshot is
Yep.
not in the movie at all. Of course, we have a couple returning characters. Of course, Amanda Waller, which makes sense. I mean, you
Mhm.
can't
Yeah.
really have the Suicide Squad without Amanda Waller. You got Joel Kidman coming back as Rick Flag, and what was really cool is that they got him in like the yellow shirt, which is right out of
Mm.
the comic books and everything. So, which is cool because in the first movie he was just kind of like a typical like army dude, and they really didn't do anything with his character. No, but
Mhm.
here they've actually got him in like the costume from the comic books, which I thought was awesome, and it's something I never thought they would do. And then you also got Ratcatcher 2. I'm guessing there was
Oh yeah.
a first Ratcatcher, but this is I guess like the second incarnation of Ratcatcher. I don't really know too
Mhm.
much about that character. We've got Mongol in this as well, which is kind of I
Yep.
think the only character that's kind of out of place, but okay. We've got oh god, we've got a bunch of characters basically. A couple of
The
ones that those are, oh well, I think I know what you're going to mention.
shark, the king.
A shark.
We got a shark on the set. Like, oh my, like it like it looks so.
King shark. Yeah.
Yeah, king shark. It looked so.
Bad.
I
I
don't
mean, yeah.
know.
So King Shark, who looks not like what I think anybody thought he was going to look like. He looks like I don't even know. He looks like he's from a cartoon. Like he's just like
Yeah.
hi. Like it's just I don't know. So King Shark is. I'm a little gonna be honest. I'm a little on the fence about King Shark. I'm not sure if I'm
Mm,
gonna like
like
this portrayal
um,
of King Shark. I mean I kind of prefer kind of what we got in the Suicide Squad game trailer,
yeah.
but this version of King Shark actually is very reminiscent of the King Shark in the Harley Quinn animated show. Um,
Oh really?
who's kind of like you think he's menacing, but actually he's a complete goofball. And
Oh
that works
god.
for that because it's a cartoon,
Yeah.
but I don't think it can work in live
Yeah.
action.
I think I think they really should have made him menacing in this.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean that's the thing. King Shark and in like all the other movies, well, movies. I mean, he was in the Flash show. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was in like the animated movie Batman Assault on Arkham and a couple other things. I mean, he's supposed to be just a complete death trap. Like he's supposed to be very, very menacing, very, very ruthless, just a complete
Hmm.
monster. Like very, very much like how Killer Croc, is. Um,
But
so
um,
this what I wanted to say was that the fact that they there were some things that were done in the Birds of Prey movie that were also done in the Harley Quinn animated show that worked in the show because it was like a cartoon and animated, but didn't work in the movie. So I'm kind of
mm,
like afraid that this is going to be the same situation where they're like, "Oh, look, here's something everybody loves about the Harley Quinn show. Let's put it in our movie." And I just don't know if it's going to work.
mm,
And it looked like he was eating either John Cena or the Polka Dot Man or something in one shot. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I will love it, but I don't know. It's kind of like, I mean, a lot of people were saying kind of the same thing about Groot when they were
yeah.
doing the. A lot of people are like, oh, they're just turning him into like Chewbacca or whatever. But we'll have to wait and see. But so they did the big roll call. They showed all the characters, and then they showed the behind the scenes, which had a tiny bit of actual footage. And it just
Mhm.
looks nuts. I mean, people are just
I know,
flying
right?
everywhere. There's
It's just a
explosions. It's very practical.
I know, right? Which something I love about it. It's like a bunch of explosions. It's gonna be crazy, and I think that works for a Suicide Squad movie.
Exactly. This tonally is exactly what, at least from what they're showing us, is exactly what a Suicide Squad movie should be. Which is why I
Mhm.
think James Gunn is going to knock it out of the
I
park.
know,
And
right?
there's a lot of characters which suggest to me there's going to be a lot of killing.
Oh
This
yeah.
is the Suicide Squad, right? Not because in the first movie it's kind of disappointing because there was only really like two characters that
Yeah.
got killed off, but here it's like nah, four is probably like at least four members will probably get killed off, which is you
We're
know
doubling it.
which is good. Which is good, I think.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe only one person gets killed off for all we know. I don't know, but
Oh
I'm sure.
wow.
I mean, there was one guy in the thing that was saying like, "Oh, people's heads and legs and stuff are getting blown off and stuff," and so it looks like it's going to be R-rated. It's going to be like bloody and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
It's going to be just a complete just mess, but in a good way, a
It's
controlled
good mess.
mess. So yeah, and it's so yeah, very very cool. Are you would you say this has made you more excited for this
Oh
one?
yeah, definitely. It's made me so much more excited.
Yeah. And yeah, so be sure let us know, guys, what your thoughts are on James Gunn's Suicide Squad in the comments down below. So now let's move on to our next topic today, which of course is and very well interesting one, which of course is Zack Snyder's Justice
Mm,
League. Hallelujah!
hallelujah.
So um, we got the trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Harv, what did you think?
Oh my god, amazing. I love it. So excited. It literally showed Dark Side in like the first thing, Dark Side. I was just like, wow.
Some people didn't like that.
No, I think I like those kind of surprises for me.
Yeah,
Just
it was a shock. It was
yeah,
definitely a shock. Some people didn't like that I actually would have rather have heard Dark Side than them show him,
I know, right? I
but
think they should.
it was still cool. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, so I mean, what do you think of the look of him
Um.
from that one shot we got? Because he wasn't actually in the rest of the trailer. Interesting
No.
enough.
He looked good. I liked it. I liked his look and everything. Looked
Yeah.
menacing.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna look like that for like the entire um
The entire movie.
uh well like the DCU as generally. I think he's gonna get like
The
a
DC what
redesign.
generally?
The movie universe for the DC movies.
But what? Well, I mean,
Like
we might be getting a completely different actor from we know. Like I don't, like
it
I
could
mean,
be.
basically, Zack Snyder said that like this is very much like its own thing now. Like this cut of the film, it's not
Mm,
really gonna you're not really gonna see it like seep into like the upcoming movies or anything. Like you're not gonna see this dark side show up in Shazam 2 or Aquaman 2 or whatever, you know. So
Mm.
I think it's gonna be interesting to see how much of the movie that he is in. I'm sure he's
Oh yeah.
probably only in a couple of minutes, really. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, so yeah, continuing on with the trailer. I mean, what else did you
Uh,
think about it? Because there was a lot.
oh my god, there's so much. I love the look. Like it looks completely different from what we originally got, and I love that.
What do you mean by that exactly?
It looks like there's a lot of sets that are different that we haven't seen before. Uh, um, Characters in different places. Like it definitely gets me like really interested to see like
Mm,
um if like how how different the film's gonna be if like even story wise or just um or, or just like uh tone or
right.
in general.
Um, because it almost looks like a completely different movie.
I know, right?
There was a couple shots I remember from the trailers way back. But for
Mm-hmm.
the most part, it was all very, very surprising. Steppenwolf um, looks completely different.
I know, right?
But what's interesting about Steppenwolf is that he looks pretty much exactly how he did at the end of the extended cut of Batman versus Superman. So
Mm.
this is like we've gone back to the way Steppenwolf looked originally. So now I don't know if they Steppenwolf was changed after Zack Snyder left or before, because I could have swore that in the one of the very early like first trailers, seeing a shot of at least that part where Steppenwolf comes down the boom tube, and it being the
Mm-hmm.
way it is in the theatrical version. So I would really like to know from Zack Snyder, and I hope that he clarifies, this after the
Mm-hmm.
cut comes out, kind of what the differences and stuff are. I really hope that he clarifies kind of what happened with Steppenwolf. But I'm about to say something very unpopular.
Well, what is it?
I actually preferred the design of Steppenwolf in the theatrical version,
Oh,
if
do
I'm going to
you?
be honest. I preferred him having an actual face and the helmet and everything. I mean, he definitely looks more menacing here, I guess. But I don't know. I preferred,
Hmm.
as of right now, this could change, but I preferred the way he looked in the
The original
theatrical.
one.
Yeah, well, not the original because technically this is the
Oh yeah,
original,
yeah.
but in the theatrical version. But what do you think? What did you think of like this Steppenwolf compared to what we got
I
originally?
like him. He looks well. He also looks menacing as well. But uh, he. I'm just surprised how different he is from
Yeah.
the the one we got. Like, I'm definitely interested to see him in like the film as well.
Yes,
Hmm.
and we also got a shot of him and Superman about to,
Oh yeah,
fight. Which again, I don't think that shot was in the theatrical cut. I mean, they did fight a little bit, but I don't think that
it was
shot
like
was in there.
short.
So perhaps there's more to that.
Hmm.
And we also got a lot of Barry. There's a lot more some more stuff with the Flash in this one.
Yeah, apparently he's gonna be like. Apparently there's gonna be something with him, like maybe time
Yeah,
travel.
Zack Snyder said on the panel that like there's gonna be like there's some stuff with the Flash going on. It looks like he's in the Speed Force. He looks like there's some crazy stuff going on. There were some shots where it's hard to tell what was going on. It's just like some crazy stuff that we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, clearly a lot of stuff with Cyborg cut out too. A lot of his
Oh
like
yeah.
backstory and everything that was
Mhm.
clearly cut originally. There was one thing that I was like, okay, where a character seems to get killed off, and that was scene was not in the theatrical cut at all.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if
I
you
know
know
what you're
what I'm
talking
talking about.
about.
And a lot of people like surprised to see that in the trailer. Because the thing is, Zack Snyder still hasn't seen the theatrical cut. He doesn't know what we do and don't know. I think I don't.
Yeah.
But yes, that was very surprising. Um, and we also got a very little bit of Henry Cavill in the black suit. What did you think of that?
I think it looked great in it. And they were it was definitely like shot great as well. I'm really excited to see more of him. Of course, in the black suit when we actually finally get the cut.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm super excited for that.
Oh yeah, we also got a shot of Dazad.
Oh, did we?
I don't know if you know who that is.
With the Zod?
Dazad, yes.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know.
So Dazad is a character that I gotta be honest, I really don't know that much. I mean, I think he's been in one or two of the animated movies and stuff, but I believe he's like one of like Darkseid's like henchmen or whatever or
Ooh.
something. Like he's kind of in like, and he's kind of or like second in command kind of thing. Like yeah, like kind of like a bit like Steppenwolf, but and we did get a shot of him, and he wasn't in the movie at all in the theatrical cut. So
Mm.
we got a shot, and he was kind of we got a shot of him. I think kind of before that other character seemingly seems to get killed. I don't know if you remember. There was a shot of like a weird creature-looking thing, kind
Mm-hmm.
of with a mean face. I don't know if you remember.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that was like Steppenwolf or something, or?
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be this character Dazad, so that's very
Okay.
interesting that that was in there. So but yeah, and of course then we got at the very end we got a scene that also was not in the theatrical version, which was them talking about I assume Darkseid. It could be Steppenwolf, where Barry Allen's just like this guy's been on hundreds of worlds before. He's probably beaten all the other superhumans on those
Mm-hmm.
planets. Like who's to say he's not going to beat us? And then you got Ben Affleck Batman saying I don't care how many hells and how many demons he's fought, he's never fought us, not
Yeah.
us united. And that was such a great line.
Yeah.
Such a great line, a great way to end it, and it just sends shivers down your spine. And I cannot wait to see this. And I say that as somebody who actually enjoyed the theatrical cut quite a bit. What
Mm-hmm.
did you think of the theatrical version?
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm. I think you take away everything, all the footage that is missing, and everything. You just like watch the theatrical version on its own merits. I actually think it's very enjoyable. I like a
Mhm.
lot of what is there, but depending on kind of how much of it is going to be in this version, this may very well be the preferred version of the film. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because obviously, as of right now, it feels very much like a completely different movie, but yeah, I'm definitely just in general excited about this because obviously, as of right now, it doesn't look like there's a Justice League movie on the horizon. So it's like this is
Mm.
kind of like take it or leave it. You know what I mean? But I mean, how excited about this are you?
Oh, I'm super excited. There's just been a lot that's been building up to this. Like, I, I'm just super excited to see the cut.
And anything else?
Nope.
No, there's nothing else about the trailer you want to mention or talk about.
Um,
Anything that you found interesting or anything?
uh, not on my mind.
All right. Well,
I might be forgetting something, but I don't.
all right. So let's move on to the next topic, which is this:
Ooh,
The
yes.
Flash.
Ooh.
Which, of course, it was recently announced that Ben Affleck is apparently coming back. He's stepping back into
Yes.
the role of the Batman, and it is confirmed that Michael Keaton is in this movie.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
However, I'm going to start with you because I know that you are excited about this.
Oh my God. I'm so
What
excited.
did you think?
just
Go.
seeing that concept art, or just seeing that art with Barry next to the Michael Keaton Batman, just next to them, about to fight like some random guys or whatever. It looked, it looks so good. Like, oh my god, it's like, oh, of course, like with the new suit, I was just like, whoa, just and plus just seeing the Michael Keaton Batman, like he's actually gonna be gonna be in the back in the suit, actually doing some action, maybe. Like, wow. And just I'm just like super surprised and just I'm so shocked by this one image. I, like, oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I I love how I love that this was shown
Yeah.
like before anything else. Like, I'm this was great. This was super great. What about
Yeah,
you?
and so I mean, they didn't really reveal like a new title. They didn't reveal
Yeah, they didn't.
too many plot details other than it is very heavily inspired, at least by Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say they're doing Flashpoint necessarily, but it definitely looks like it's gonna be very heavily inspired by Flashpoint at least. And in addition to that, they also said that we're giving Barry Allen, he's gonna have a new suit in this film, which is
Oh
exciting.
yeah.
And they gave us this, which I have on the screen right now. This piece of concept art with Barry in his new suit. So before we talk about the other big thing that is showcased here that we should talk about, let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about the suit, this new suit. What are your thoughts on the look of this new suit that we will be
I
getting?
like it. I like it. It's very different from the suit we got from the Justice League.
Yeah,
It 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 definitely just looks really cool and everything with like the lightning and everything, and just with like the red lines in the suit. Like it definitely looks really cool just looking at it.
yeah.
Well, what about you?
Well, I mean, is there nothing else you want to point out?
Uh,
Well, what I would say is that obviously you were talking about the lines and everything. I'd be interested to see like when he like kind of powers up and starts, running fast. How whether or
mhm.
not that starts those lines start to glow and stuff. That's going to be very very interesting. I definitely prefer this than the one in the
Justice League.
yeah. Even though I didn't mind that one, I definitely will say I prefer the look of this with the lines and everything.
Hmm.
Another thing I want to point out before we get to the other thing is the fact that the lightning is yellow.
Yes.
And it was blue in Justice League, so that's pretty interesting. So that perhaps maybe they're going to be going to the more kind of traditional yellow
Hmm.
and possibly red lightning streaks. So that's going to be very interesting. I mean, first of all, I mean, Harv, what are your thoughts on just this piece of art in general? I mean,
It
what do you?
it looks like the artwork looks really great. Like it
Yeah,
looks so great. Just with the lighting and everything.
it's just a beautiful piece of artwork,
Yeah. And just how you can
and
see like
go
well, I was gonna say you can see like a car in the background with the two lights, and
maybe
just
the
like
Batmobile, maybe who knows?
could be,
But you can't really tell.
yeah. And just um with the ceiling, like there's a lot of like tubes or whatnot.
Yeah, who
With
knows
the,
what this place is supposed to be, but yeah.
mhm.
Well, let's address the other thing, shall we? Because
Yes.
behind him is Michael Keaton Batman. Like it is no getting around it. It is the Tim Burton Michael Keaton Batman suit and everything. And if you look really closely on the face, it is very much Michael Keaton. So
Yeah.
This seems to suggest that we are not only we getting Michael Keaton back, but he is going to be full blown like in the suit alongside
Mm.
Barry and everything. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on just that?
I love that. It's so cool. Like
Yeah.
I was never expecting that. You kind of expected like, oh, he's probably gonna be like the mentor
Mm. Now, to
in
be
this,
fair,
but
this is concept art, so this may not end up even being an actual shot in the movie. But this is it is weird to think that this is actually official released artwork,
I know,
and
right?
this this is they're kind of suggesting that no, actually Michael Keaton will be back in the suit, actually, at least
Mhm.
for a little bit, maybe. So, I mean, I just absolutely, loved the look of this and everything, and I just really, really hope that I just can't wait to see this movie because it's just, you know, the concept of seeing, going to a complete different universe and getting to, the
Mm.
'89 Batman and everything. I mean, that's just fantastic. Um, and Hav, what do you think the chances are of us seeing any other incarnations of the Batman or other DC heroes or anything
Uh,
from other versions? What do you think the chances are of that?
it, it could be pretty likely. Like, I don't know if we're getting like we're going to lots of different universes, or if we're just going to Michael Keaton's and just that
Yeah,
one. But it's definitely gonna be interested to see how this goes.
yeah, and in the sort of I guess description of it, they said he will be meeting up with different versions of DC heroes, so it didn't necessarily
Mhm.
just say Batman. So I'm sure we're gonna see, one or two other things as well. But yeah, anyway, be sure to leave your thoughts on that in the comments down below, folks. So let us move on to the next thing here, which is
Ooh,
Black
yeah.
Adam. I'm gonna start with you, Hoff. What did you think about the details that were revealed for the upcoming Black Adam movie?
I liked it. I actually really liked it. I liked that we got to see Dwayne Johnson and everything, and with that like intro to like the Black Adam's past, I thought that was really cool. And I definitely it definitely was interesting. It, it was definitely something that very exciting. Like they didn't show too much, but they did say that they were doing what was it called again? I forgot its name. Uh like
What conduct?
I think that is that what it's called? Because I forgot.
What are you asking?
Uh because they say that they were doing uh uh another thing that they got one of the other actors came in as well, which I
Are you
forgot.
talking about the Justice Society?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What you're already talking about the Justice Society?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if you want to talk about like the other details first, but yeah, yeah. I mean, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, the Justice Society. Um, I thought it was really cool. I liked that how they revealed the characters and that or who's going to be in the Justice Society. I know there's uh Doctor Fate. I know there's um what's it, um Hawkeye. I think that's what it's called.
No, Hawkeye's Sorry, I just had to go shut my window because there was some dogs barking outside. But no, Hawkeye's Marvel. You're thinking of
Oh, sorry,
Hawkman.
Hawkman. And what were the other two? I know there's the one that
Cyclone, Atom Smasher,
mhm.
and Doctor Fate.
Uh, okay.
So that's the Justice Society members that we're getting. And first of all, I can't believe that we're actually getting Hawkman and Doctor Fate in
I
live
know,
action.
right?
Like that is awesome. That is absolutely incredible. And I mean, Cyclone. I gotta be honest. I completely forgot who Cyclone was. I may have heard of that character before, or whatever. I'm not really sure. Adam Smasher, of course, I know, and they had the actor who was playing Adam Smasher on for a little bit to talk about it. But yeah, but the main fan, of course, was Dwayne Johnson, and you could just tell from the way that he was talking about it that he is genuinely a fan of this character and is genuinely
Yeah.
invested in playing this character and making this movie a reality, and that was just awesome.
Yes.
And it's cool that they showed kind of this little kind of almost like a presentation type of thing where it's kind of
Hmm.
like they show kind of what the suit is going to look like. I guess it was like kind of concept art, and they kind of
Oh
showed
yeah.
Kondak and everything, and they're going to going into the origins. Looks like the wizard will be showing up and
Oh
everything,
yeah.
and then it will be jumping to Monday, and we'll be seeing the Justice Society and everything. I mean, I still just can't believe we're getting the Justice Society. I mean,
Mm.
I thought we wouldn't be getting that until a very long time, like after like down the road. I thought we is when we get the Justice Society. So it's going to be very interesting to see kind of how that plays into it.
Hmm.
And but another thing to point out was The Rock actually did hint that that at some point, maybe not necessarily in this movie, but at some point, um, Superman and Black
Oh
Adam
yeah.
may be meeting, or will be meeting, and will most likely, duke it out. I mean, what were your thoughts on that?
Oh,
Because
that
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 hint that he dropped.
oh, that gets me excited. I would love to see that in live action.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to see that? I mean, it's Superman and Black Adam, like
Yeah.
these two most powerful tyrants going at each other. But
Hmm.
overall, what are your thoughts on Black Adam, Hob, and how excited are for you?
I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. I heard I've been we've heard about this film for a long time now, and finally we got some more details on it.
Yeah,
So I'm actually kind of happy, and I like that uh, Dwayne Johnson is a really big fan of this character. So hopefully that would come into how he's gonna perform in the movie. So and
and another thing was that a lot of people were worried that they were going to make Black Adam a hero, but Dwayne Johnson pretty much made it
yeah.
very clear that no, that Black Adam is still very much a villain slash
Hmm.
anti-hero, that and he's going to be definitely have a sense of anarchy and evil to him, which I thought I was very happy to see that. I mean,
Hmm.
what were your thoughts on that, Hop?
Yeah, I was also happy to see
Yeah.
that.
There's definitely going to be a lot more along the lines of Venom, where the line is going to kind of be blurred between hero and villain, which I'm
Yeah,
actually think is good. So, yeah. And then what's interesting is that he didn't mention Shazam at all,
I
actually.
know, right?
So, but well, of course, we all know that that connection is coming. So, but yeah. Anyway, but speaking of Shazam, we also got the Shazam panel, and they of course revealed that the title for the next Shazam film will be Shazam: Fury of the Gods. I mean,
Mm.
first of all, what is your reaction to that title?
It's a pretty cool title. Fury of the Gods is like something's gonna be going down here. Like,
Yeah, it is a pretty cool title. I mean, I thought it was going to be called like Shazam and the Seven Magic Lands because that's kind of how I thought they were kind of going, kind of in the direction of like the
mhm,
current comics and everything with Mister Mind and everything. But
yep,
who knows? I mean, now Fury of the Gods almost suggests that maybe Black Adam
could be.
is showing up. Who knows? I thought that would be like the third movie, but Fury of the Gods kind of suggests that something else is going on here, maybe. So,
Yeah,
what are your thoughts, Hav, on the chances of Black Adam showing up in Shazam 2?
that would be honestly really interesting. Like
Yeah,
that would just be like. that would just be really interesting. Just seeing
Mm.
Black Adam like this early, really.
Yeah.
Just to see him coming out of the blue
Mm. Because obviously
in
that we
Shazam.
know that that's the direction they're going in, but of
Hmm.
course we haven't. It's kind of been like we don't really know kind of how soon it will be when they'll kind of cross over. But it very well could be, Black Adam could be making at least maybe a short appearance in this movie, which would be awesome.
Hmm.
And also, of course, they didn't confirm that Superman's going to be in the movie, but I really hope that he is as kind of a mentor or something. What do you think the chances
Yeah,
are of that?
that would be pretty cool.
I think it's very likely, but the only other real detail that they revealed was was I believe it was Sinbad. Sinbad
Oh
is going
yeah.
to be in the movie, and Sinbad, of course, has for years, of course, it has been one of the top Mandela effects, where thousands of people around the world remember him being in this movie called Shazam from years ago. To the point where like he did like at the Super Bowl or something, he did like a commercial where it was like actually like that movie just to kind of and stuff and all these years later and people have thought that he was in Shazam and people thought that he was in the other movie Kazam, that movie which is terrible and so now after all these years he's finally going to be in a movie called Shazam. So that's actually pretty cool. As to what kind of a role he will be playing, who knows? But yeah, so they actually did have him come out, and he was actually part of the panel, and he kind of joked about that, like after all these years, I'm finally going to be in a movie called Shazam. So that was literally the only other thing that was revealed. So but I mean, what are your thoughts on Sinbad being in the movie?
I just think it's pretty funny.
It is,
Just
it is.
yeah.
But what kind of a role do you think that he'll have? Do you think it'll be a minor role? Do you think he'll actually
Probably
have like, a pretty big role? Or
I would laugh if he has a big role in this. Like, wow. I
yeah,
think it's minor.
you think it's just going to be a minor thing? I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if he's just playing himself. Like I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and
It's
see.
just
But anyway,
it's just like a cameo.
yeah, yeah. And then before we go into the very last topic here, I do just want to mention this that there was, of course, the Aquaman panel,
Mhm.
but the only thing that James Wan really mentioned was the fact that the next movie will be darker and that we'll be seeing kind of parts of the ocean that we haven't seen in the previous movie, and we'll also be seeing more of kind of some of the locations that we got a little bit of in the first movie. But that's literally all the information we got about Aquaman 2. Do you have any thoughts on that you'd like to say, Hob?
Well, no.
I mean, what are your thoughts on the idea that the second film will be darker? Do you think that makes
Well,
sense to you, or
that I guess it could be cool.
yeah?
Like, could be interesting.
I gotta be honest, I was actually kind of surprised to hear that because the first movie was actually very lighthearted. For the
Oh
most
yeah.
part, I mean, it did have its serious moments, but yeah. So there you go. So we now know that Aquaman 2 will be going in a more of a darker direction. So it'll be interesting to see that. So anyway, now on to the very last topic today, which is last but most certainly not least, which of course the Batman, the
Oh
Batman,
yeah.
the Batman teaser trailer. Matt Reeves, the Batman. Harv, would you like to jump in first and let us know your thoughts?
Oh, it was good. I am excited for this
Yeah.
uh different adaptation of Batman, like in his early years, you know? Um
Year
that
two, Matt Reeves was saying that this is going to be.
yeah. I was just like that I think like it's gonna be really cool to see like the movie like looks very good, even though they haven't really shot that much. Like how much did they
Yeah, they
shot for
said
the
like
film?
25% or something, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
it looks like the film's already done.
It
Like
does. It does. Yeah,
like
they still got like 3 months of filming to do apparently.
yeah,
So
like already the shots that they did were really good. Like
yeah, it looks fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I love the tone. I love the setting.
mhm.
I think it looks absolutely fantastic, and I like that it clearly looks like it's in its own separate universe. It does not
Yeah,
look like it crossover with the Wonder Woman movie or Aquaman or anything. It very much looks and feels like this is its own separate thing. This is original, new, fresh take on Batman and the world of Gotham City and everything. And I just absolutely loved it. I mean, I've known for quite a long time that Matt Reeves was the right guy for the job and that he would do something really unique and interesting with it. I mean, Matt Reeves, I mean, look at his movies, Cloverfield, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Dawn of Planet of the Apes, War of Planet of the Apes, which were both fantastic. I mean, even Let Me In was pretty damn good as well, and that was obviously quite a dark film. And he's just a fantastic director, and clearly he has done just already clearly from what we've saw the work that he's done is just fantastic. And seeing him talk about this movie in the panel and everything, because he talked quite a lot. He had like the longest panel of the whole thing, like, even longer than Zack Snyder and everything. And he talked quite a lot about the making, developing, the world
Yeah.
of Gotham City, all the different villains, kind of how this will tie into like the new Gotham TV show that they're doing and everything. And he clearly has the passion and drive to explore this world. And just from the trailer alone, because I've watched the trailer multiple times now, or teaser rather, and it looks fantastic. And just the way it's shot and stuff, the way that it looks, just it looks great. It looks perfect. You've got kind of a twinge of kind of the old, kind of like the kind of the Gotham City, kind of the Tim Burton-esque Batman. You've got a twinge of kind of the Christopher Nolan Batman. And it also kind of feels very original as well. I really like the suit. I think the suit looks really good. I'm not 100% sold on the cowl yet, but the rest of the suit, the cape, and the actual bat symbol, and everything, I'm 100% sold on. But yeah, I think it looks fantastic. It looks like the villain is going to be the Riddler. We did not see him, but we heard a voice that I'm assuming is the Riddler. And we also saw, even though a lot of us didn't know it when we first watched it, we also got to see and yeah, and so Harv, what are your thoughts on all of this stuff that we got with the Batman teaser and Matt Reeves talking about it and everything?
I just love it. Like I really just like love it. I'm just super interested to see like how this movie's going to go. Like it's clearly like lot more grounded. It's and just like seeing like the characters, just like the Penguin.
Yeah.
It's like it isn't exactly the Penguin yet.
Right. Yeah. He was saying how like if this is like a lot of the characters are still kind of starting out,
Yeah.
We got to see Catwoman as well. I completely forgot about that. Um, so yeah, it's pretty packed. We heard Andy Serkis's Alfred, but we did not see him.
Yeah. Which is
But
gonna be
yes,
interesting.
and it definitely looks like there is a mystery to be solved. Like there's like he's going to be back. This is for the first time ever, really, in the live action movies. We're really going to get to see the detective side
Yeah.
of Batman, which is something that obviously fans have been dying to see for a very long
And,
time.
and
And so it's great to see that. And I think the Riddler is the perfect villain.
yeah, that was what I was about to say. Like Riddler is the perfect villain just for like the detective side of Batman.
And what did you think of Robert Pattinson himself in the suit and like his
I
voice and
thought
everything?
I thought it looked really good. Um, I really liked the voice,
Yeah,
and I think it
they've
looked
gone
really
back to the Michael Keaton type of like I'm Batman. Like they haven't
yeah.
tried to overdo it or anything. Like so, I like that.
hmm Um, I think he played. I think he's gonna play the role like really well.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on like the look of like the suit and like the Batmobile and everything? One of the things that Matt Reeves mentioned is that he actually Bruce Wayne this time has had to like build pretty much all of this stuff himself,
Yeah.
really, which is interesting. What are your thoughts on like some of that stuff?
Um, like the suit looks good. Like it's not like my favorite uh Batman suit, but I think it looks good for this film. It fits the
And Matt
tone.
Matt Reeves was talking a lot about how like it was very intentional that it doesn't look perfect, that it kind of like
Yeah.
it's still evolving. Like this is still early days. He still hasn't really quite become the Batman yet. Like this, if anything, it's almost like this is like the thing that morphs him into the Batman that we all
Mm.
know and love, which I think is a great idea. I think the one of the big moments in the trailer that everybody is talking about is, of course, the beatdown scene. Now, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, I actually really liked that. Um, just like him just beating up that one
Yeah,
guy. It's just like he's taking like all of his anger out. Like he could literally just stop hitting him, but he keeps on going. And then we hear the voice.
yeah,
I thought that was a really damn good
hmm
scene.
yeah, and somebody I saw a comment somewhere a little while ago that they said that the sound for that part was also really good because it was like it almost sounded like he was punching a brick wall, and then by the point he got the guy on the floor, it sounded like he was punching a bag of potatoes or something, like that. And that was a very good way to, like so that the sound design there was very subtle, and yet it worked
Yeah.
very very well. And yeah, this is definitely very dark. It's definitely like in terms of its kind of like its kind of serious nature. It's very very similar to the Joker movie,
Hmm.
um, and I like that. And I think that they should kind of keep that kind of tone for like the solo movies that are not part of
Yeah.
the extended universe. Um, so yeah, and I think like they as of right now, because Joker and this movie, The Batman, are the only movies that we've gotten recently that are not part of the DCEU. As of right now, they are doing a fantastic job of
I know,
making
right?
sure you know what is and isn't part of the cinematic universe. And I like that they're not afraid to say that this is part of the DC universe, it's just somewhere else in the multiverse. Like I like how they're not afraid to just kind of say that, you know. It only makes sense. I mean, what are your thoughts on just kind of like the overall look of Gotham City? Kind of like what do you
Oh
think?
yeah.
What did you think
Uh,
of like the end with kind of the voice saying you'll see, like stuff like that.
mm,
I mean, what are
um,
your thoughts on
I think Gotham City looked good. Like, of course, like very dark,
that? Yeah,
gritty. Um,
and they're
and
using the UK this time round for Gotham, which he said it
mm,
was that Matt Reeves said that he wanted to do that because he didn't want to use like Chicago and New York and stuff
yeah.
like some of the previous movies did, and I think that was very
Hmm.
smart. Kind of doing it in a way that so like a lot of people watch and be like, oh, I don't recognize that city, and really kind of feel as though they're transported to a new world, And he actually said that he wanted it to feel like this was like an American city that like nobody's ever been to almost, which
Mm,
I thought it was very very smart, and you can tell that he's
yeah.
had so much time to think about this and everything and plan it
Hmm.
out and everything, and yeah. Um, but the other thing is, of course, is that a lot of, I mean, first of all, what do you think about the Penguin
Oh, the Penguin. I'm really excited to see because I think we heard his voice
at the
in
very
the
end? Yeah, like
yeah.
whoa, this guy's crazy, whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see that. But the last question I'm going to ask you, Hall, before we wrap up the show, is a lot of people think that the Flash movie is going to be used. They're going to use the Flash movie to kind of make this become
Mm.
a part of the DCEU. What are your thoughts on that? Go.
I think that'd be very interesting. Like, um, like how they're gonna like I guess they could definitely do that. Um, hmm.
Yeah, is that
Um,
is that all your thoughts on that?
yeah. Like
Yeah,
it's definitely like an interesting concept that they're gonna kind of make it canon, but like
And what are your
still be
thoughts on that? Do
separate.
you want it to happen or not?
I'm kind of saying yeah, it'd be cool, but yet also it could. I think it would still fit if it was its own separate thing. Still,
Yeah.
like I'm jumping back and forth.
Before we got this teaser, I was all over Matt Reeves' Batman universe becoming a part of the DCU. But
Hmm.
after watching this teaser, sorry, did you say something?
Oh no! I was just agreeing.
But after this teaser, I don't want it. I want it
You
to be
don't want
separate
it.
because it just doesn't fit, and it just
Mm,
wouldn't fit, and it would be very much what like Fox did with the X-Men movies and stuff. Like keep it separate, and I think
yeah.
that hopefully we can actually keep Ben Affleck maybe because a lot of people think that Ben Affleck's Batman will be kind of this the Flash movie like his send off and that he'll die in the film, which is
Hmm.
very possible, but. I hope that maybe they'll keep him and then like Ben Affleck can still be like the DCEU Batman and he can still be in like
Yeah.
a Justice League movies and stuff moving forward. I really hope that that is the possibility and that they just like the solo Batman movies stay with we stay with Matt Reeves and stuff. I think that is what they should do. What are your thoughts on that? Huh?
I like that because I also like Ben Affleck as Batman. I think
Yeah.
like he really suits like the universe
Yes.
of the movies. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I hopefully he
Yeah.
sticks around and everything. And
Because I just can't imagine Robert Pattinson's Batman running alongside Aquaman and
yeah.
it doesn't fit. Um, so and even Matt Reeves said, like I love Ben Affleck's Batman. I thought Ben Affleck was, great as Batman and stuff.
Mhm.
So like he clearly understands this. And I think that, the more Matt Reeves talked in that panel, the more I kept thinking they should just keep him to the side with his Batman universe and
Yeah.
just let him keep going with that for as long as, however it is they want to do it and just keep it there, keep it to the side,
Mhm.
don't connect it to the movies or whatever. I like the idea he was talking about the show, that the show is kind of going to be like going back a year and focusing on like the police department and stuff. I mean, what were your thoughts on that, huh?
Um, I thought that would be really cool. I think like seeing how like corrupted the police department is.
Yeah, and kind of fill in some of the gaps maybe.
Yeah.
Like we could see some characters talking at one point in this movie, and then like they it like an episode of the show, we actually get that scene where we see what it was they were talking about. Stuff we like,
Hmm.
it could be like we get some cool stuff like that. But yeah, so I think that is pretty much it. I mean, is there anything else you want to say about the Batman teaser here before we go?
No, nothing else, but other than it was a great, it's probably my favorite thing out of
Yeah.
DC Fandome.
And what did you think of the DC fan of the event in general? And do you think they should do it again?
I think they should do it again. I really enjoyed it. Um, it's a good way to like just separately show off the DC movies and video games for the future uh of DC
Mm-hmm.
and comics as well.
Yeah.
Like I think it'll be I think it's pretty good. Like
And do you think they should keep it virtual?
I think virtual because I really like the background that
Yeah.
Jim Lee
Oh yeah.
draw.
He
Like
was
that
in it
was
more
great. I
than
know, right?
and it was. I also really like the fact that they just the entire world could be watching that. Like that was cool. Like that's something you can't
Yeah.
do with Comic Con because they never really done that before. So I like
Mm,
the idea that everybody could experience it together at the same time. It really felt like it was a global event. You know what I mean? And it
yeah.
just like and that so a lot of other people watching too. Yeah, and it was just a great event. But the last thing I will ask you here, Harv, before we go is
Hmm.
we've got all these DC movies coming. Obviously, we're all very, excited for them. But for you, how would you rank all of the upcoming DC movies in order of
Ooh.
your anticipation from least anticipated to the most anticipated.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So last on our list is gonna be
So you're going from least to most?
least to most. Last right now is Aquaman 2, since we haven't really gotten that much on it. And like, and plus since the other ones like had so much more hype to them, like they definitely show more, that definitely like it definitely shows that Aquaman 2 is probably the least excited or hyped one out of the bunch. Doesn't mean I'm not excited for it at all. It's just it's just there wasn't much that happened in the
And what's next?
Probably Shazam, since all we got was the title, which is cool, but that's the only thing we really got. Like it definitely leads to speculation. And Sinbad.
Don't forget about Sinbad.
Yeah. Easily the most hyped thing about the entire thing.
Well, actually, no, a lot of people are actually very excited about that. But, continue.
And then after that, we're gonna have it's it's honestly hard, but
and obviously really you're very excited about all of them, but the question is like, which ones are you more excited for and which ones are you not quite as excited for? So
Black Adam is next. I know it's like it's like the most surprising one, but
yeah, I thought you would have that higher actually, yeah. But
I'm still so excited for that. I'm still so excited for that.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Next up is the Suicide Squad. The only reason why it was higher than Black Adam.
I just want to make sure you're not forgetting Wonder Woman.
No, Wonder Woman is going to be a bit more higher.
Okay. Wow, you're okay. No, continue.
Suicide Squad is like just from that the behind the scenes and showing how big this film's going to be. Just that is the only reason why it beat Black Adam, for me at least, because it looked so great.
Yeah, it looked special. So
yes. Next up is Wonder Woman 1984.
I am so surprised by this.
I know we got the teaser thing.
I'm very surprised. I did not think that you were this excited for this movie. I did not think that. But anyway.
I know, but I'm just really excited because it's the thing we gotten the most of. So I'm kind of like I'm just really excited for that. Next up is The Flash, of course, from that one concept art. Definitely got me so excited for the film. And then next up we have
the last one, right? I think there's only one left.
No, there isn't. There's number 2 is Snyder Cut.
Well, I don't really count the Snyder Cut.
You're not counting the Snyder Cut?
No.
Well, I would have put that at number 2.
Okay, in terms of so like you're really excited for the Zack
I know
Snyder.
it looked so different.
It definitely is intriguing. Yes,
it's just so intriguing.
I mean, we are getting Darkseid in that movie, so that's pretty exciting.
And then last up, of course, like I said earlier, the Batman.
It looks fantastic.
It looks like 5-star worthy.
It very well could be that good. I mean, I don't know. It looks it looks like they really got the balance right between originality, influence from the comics and other versions. And it just like everything just looks very balanced well. And yeah, I just can't wait to see it. So that's your ranking?
That's my ranking.
Very, very good. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. So yeah. So that is the DC fandom recap, everyone. I hope you guys really
Mhm.
enjoyed this stream. This is now the longest Movie Junkies Media Talk stream we've
Yeah.
ever done. This has been over an hour long. I thought we could kind of rush through stuff, but I mean, obviously, there's just been so much news.
Yeah.
So hope you guys really enjoyed this extra special Movie Junkies Media Talk. And until next week or next time, because as of right now, it's unfortunately we're not doing the show weekly, but hopefully we can get
Mm.
back to that. But until next time, be sure to consume as much entertainment as humanly possible. And yeah,